Welcome to the Friendly Frequencies podcast. I am your host, Carmen McLeod, and I am here to talk to you about my passion for spirituality and personal development. My purpose in life at this time is to remind you how powerful you truly are and that you create your own reality. If the mind, the soul, and the universe are topics that interest you, and you want to continue to evolve into your soul's purpose, then you are in the right place. Thank you for joining me as I travel the world and record my journey through self-discovery. Hello, good morning. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I am coming to you from a different part of the Philippines now. So I was just staying at a place called Banyas, and sorry, lots of animals, they distract me every time. But I was just staying there for 2 weeks, and I was trading my so instead of doing a mural at this place, or a couple murals, I actually painted them 2 surfboards. So I stayed with them for about 2 weeks, and they didn't have any walls because a lot of the places I've stayed out here don't have walls. They're just like huts with maybe bamboo as the walls or like straw. So they don't always have opportunities to do murals. But yeah, it's a surfing beach, and I actually learned to surf, foreshadowing for the episode. But yeah, so the guy that owned the place, or that was, the owner of the Banyas is like it's kind of like a resort, but it's more for local people, so like tourists don't really go there. It's in a part of the island that is not very touristic, so I was definitely the only white person again, so it was kind of like back when like a month ago when I was staying in Mindoro Island, like I was like the only white person on the island, the entire island. And I was famous. I don't know if I mentioned, but I was on the news. I've now been on the news in the Philippines twice. First time literally was featured on a news special. Second time I just kind of photobombed a news thing. Anyways, but yeah, so I was definitely like the only tourist out there, but I wasn't really a tourist. I was the only foreigner because I was working there. So I stayed there for 2 weeks. Painted them 2 surfboards, and in return just got to live with them, and it was amazing living on the beach, drumming every day. Like I said in my last episode about how I used my intuition to decide to go to this place, and it's really interesting how it all worked out, and I knew that it was all going to work out, and literally like it really worked out for me. I didn't know what was going to happen. I had no idea, and I'll let you listen to the last episode to have more details on this, but really I had no idea what was going to come from making that decision, but I just knew that it was the right decision because it was the most uncertain decision. It was the biggest risk to take versus my other opportunity was to take a job at a different area and get paid, but I chose this one, and it was amazing. And so glad that I did. So that kind of leads into what I'm talking about today. I learned how to surf from his name is Kuya Mon, or Raymond is his name, but we say Kuya in front of any other man that's older than me. I would call them Kuya, and then their name. So Kuya Mon was what we would call him, and he taught me how to surf, and it was amazing. And I've surfed now, I think 5 times, and I'm getting better every time. Like, really, it's not as hard to learn as I thought. Maybe because I snowboard at home and things like this, and do yoga and stuff. I heard that it's easier. So, yeah, so I love surfing now. I actually have a shell necklace, too, to show that I'm a surfer. No, I actually think that I bought this necklace before I even learned to surf, and I feel like the necklace kind of manifested the surfing career because I felt like a surfer as soon as I put it on, and then boom, I became a surfer right after. So I swear, just like feeling like a surfer just manifested surfing in my life. Like, it kind of goes along with being what you want or feeling the way that you want to be, and then that way of being is just gonna show up and like manifest things for you. But that's a whole nother thing. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about is my second time surfing and how it relates. Excuse me one sec. how it relates to, how it relates to my life and to the course that I'm in. So I've talked a bunch about the next level course, or the breakthrough course is sometimes what I call it. But it's a intensive leadership training, and I've learned tons from it. Like, it's been kicking my ass, you guys. But it's been life-changing, and it's given me so many opportunities that I don't think I would have had, or that I would have seized or attracted if it weren't for this course. So as much as it's been kicking my ass, it's also been shaping my life so beautifully out here. And so the metaphor that came to me while I was surfing the second time, I was with Kuya-mon, and he would like push the board, and like I would paddle, and then I'd get up because I wasn't really strong enough to paddle all the way. And then this day, so that's how it was the first time. The second time we go out, much bigger waves, like the kind that he likes to ride, not the kind that a beginner should be riding. So they were huge. Like, they would come over my whole body and like smack me in the face and just beat me up. Like, seriously, I was getting my ass kicked by these waves, and it's like, every time it hits you, like, it throws my body over, the board goes flying, I have a mouthful of salt water, and and a nose full of salt water, like everything. It's rough. I feel like the harder part is not the surfing, it's once you're finished the surf and you have to like go back out into the water, the waves hitting you on your way out there is the harder part, because they just they really knock you over. So I was getting beat up by these waves, and obviously struggling to surf in general, because it was quite a lot. And but in the middle of being beaten down by these waves, I just thought, wow, this is just like the course. And also, this is just like life. So at that period of time, I think this was, I don't know, around the time where I was feeling overwhelmed by the course. And the overwhelm has turned on and off throughout the course. I've actually at certain times felt underwhelmed, certain times felt overwhelmed, and just with so many different things. And also I've been feeling like, I think I mentioned in the last week, that I was just feeling at this point of exhaustion. I had just gotten over a sickness, and I had gotten over a weekend of, like a full weekend of doing this course stuff, like all night, nocturnal, 12 hours a day, while sick. So I was just like completely beaten down. And so there's been times in the course where I've been physically, mentally, emotionally beaten down. And when I was getting beaten by these waves, I was just thinking about that, like, wow, this is just like the course, and I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna keep taking this beating, because I know that when I finally get that wave, it's gonna be amazing. So I tried over and over, obviously, was unsuccessful for a while, but I kept going, and I kept getting beaten by the waves, and then I got that one perfect wave that was still too big for me to be doing on my second time out there. But I caught it, and I did it all by myself, didn't need Kuya-mon to push me at all. And I rode like right to the shore. Like, I was just riding it for like, I don't even know. It just took me all the way right up to the shoreline, and I hopped off, and I'm like, okay, bye. I'm good. I'm complete. And I was like, yeah, just felt so good. Like, okay, this really is like the course. This really is like life. I'm going to keep being tested and pushed and stretched. And it's up to me, and I could decide, oh, okay, these waves are too big for me. I'm playing too big right now. So maybe I should go home and come back when the waves are a bit smaller. But that's not how I roll. So, and excuse my raspiness, I don't think I've come back completely from the sickness. Pardon me. So I I decided to keep going out there on the waves, and I just like knew, because I just knew that I was gonna catch one. And I knew that in that day, even though it was my second time out there, even though the waves were too big, I knew that I was gonna do it, because I just felt like it was a perfect metaphor for my life. And so of course it's gonna happen, because this always happens. Like, no matter what failures lead up to the success that I'm striving for, no matter what happens along the way, that's all failures are for me like celebrations. And I think I've mentioned this before. Somebody whose podcast I used to listen to, called Mornings with Nano, he would say, I celebrate my failures with champagne every time, like the big failures, like the ones that cost him tens of thousands of dollars and all of this, because that's another stepping stone to the life of his dreams, to the success. And it's just like the surfing. Every time I get beaten down by the wave, that's just one less wave I need to get beaten down by in order to get there. It has to happen along the way. Otherwise, the success wouldn't even be fulfilling if you didn't have to get beaten down on the way to that. So that's kind of like generally how I see it as a metaphor for life. But when we get more specific around the course, this is where it gets really cool, because I can already see how in the course, how I've been beaten down, which I mentioned a little bit about that, and how I've already can see myself soaring. And though I'm not gonna lie, I'm still getting beaten down by this course on a regular basis currently. I cried on the phone today with my coach, one of the life coaches that I'm working with, and because I'm still in a state of going back and forth and overwhelm, and am I doing this at the right time? This is too much for me right now. I just want to be a hippie hanging out on the beach. I don't want to be in this full, I don't want to be in all of this. As much as I love personal development and all of that, the masculine energy that comes with that, and by that I mean the doing energy, right? There's the being, the feminine, and the doing, the masculine. And I'm so far deep into the masculine when I'm just trying to, I want to be in the feminine. I want to be in the being. I just want to get back into my spiritual side rather than my personal development side, my successful side. And I want both. I'm always going back and forth between personal development books and spirituality books to keep myself balanced, and those are the two things that I care about most. But so I've been feeling like I've been thrown so much into the masculine, and when I'm living in the Philippines around a bunch of hippies who are completely not in that, they're all in the feminine, they're all, living their spiritual lives, just playing music every day. We literally would have drum circles every day at Banyas, and just the simplicity of their life, I was so envious of it. And I'm like, well, I was living that kind of life before this course, and now I'm more busy than I want to be, because it's a lot. However, I have a hard time even voicing this, because I just also at the same time, it's just how I feel. It's not right or wrong, but at the same time, I know the breakthroughs that are on the other side of this that I haven't even, I don't know what I don't know, and I really don't know what's about to come for me through this, but I'm going to tell you what has already come for me, what has come to me because of this course, and that is me riding the wave. That's the visual representation of me riding the wave. It's really amazing, and I still have until the end of January until I'm completed with this course, and the fact that all of this stuff has already happened, it's 1,000,000 times worth it. 1,000,000 times. So as much as I like to feel sorry for myself sometimes and oh, but poor me, I can't just hang out at the beach all day. Oh no, okay, I know I cannot be feeling too sorry for myself. I have an amazing life, and this literally is adding to the quality of my life so much.